All right, today we're going to dive into something really cool, the evolution of AI assistants at work. We'll start with this idea of a voice-controlled smart office, the magic of just talking to your workspace. But then we're going to follow that thread all the way to the cutting-edge stuff, these powerful, specialized agent skills that are being built for today's AI coding assistants. It's quite a leap.
So what if your office could actually listen to you? I mean, really listen. Imagine walking in and just speaking your needs into existence. No fumbling with keyboards, no clicking through dashboards, just your voice. And you're controlling everything, not just your computer, but the physical environment around you too. It sounds like science fiction, right? But it's not. It's the whole idea behind a smart office.
Okay, so for a developer, what does this actually look like? Well, it means you can talk to tools like Jira without ever touching your mouse. Picture this. You're deep in the zone, writing code, and instead of breaking your flow, you just ask your assistant, hey, read me the details of the next ticket, or log my time on this task. It's all about making that workflow completely seamless.
But here's where it gets really cool. It doesn't just stop at software. The very same system lets that engineer interact with the physical office. Feeling a bit chilly? You just ask it to turn up the heat. Need more light? Turn on the lights. Boom, done. It totally bridges that gap between your digital work and your actual physical comfort. It creates this one single, responsive environment.
And of course, this isn't just for engineers. This technology is for the whole team. A manager, for example, could pull up project status reports or schedule a meeting, all with their voice. It's about streamlining all those little admin tasks for everyone, so you can free up that mental space for the work that really matters. Okay, so this all sounds great, but how does it actually work? How does the office know what to do when you talk to it? Well, it's not actual magic, though it kind of feels like it. It's just some really clever technology. So let's pull back the curtain and take a look at the architecture that makes it all happen. So this diagram here shows you the whole setup. When you say something to an assistant like Alexa, your voice command zips up to the AWS cloud. Up there, it gets processed, and then the command gets sent right back down to your local office network. It then tells a specific device what to do, whether that's a tiny microcontroller for the lights or an API call to Jira. It's basically a bridge connecting the massive power of the cloud to your physical workspace. Now, the key thing to get here is that a voice assistant like Alexa doesn't know how to do all this stuff out of the box. It's not all-knowing. Its abilities are added through something called skills. And honestly, the best way to think of a skill is just like an app on your phone, but for your voice. Each skill teaches the assistant a brand new trick, like how to talk to Jira or how to control the office lights. So how does a skill actually understand you? It's pretty smart, actually. It breaks down what you say into 3 core parts. First, there's the utterance. That's literally just the phrase you say, like turn on the light. Then there's the intent, which is your goal. In this case, controlling the lights. And finally, you have slots, which are the variables. Like if you said the kitchen light. That structure is how it translates your normal, everyday language into a command a machine can actually understand and act on. All right, so we know how they work in theory, but let's switch gears and put on our developer hats. How do you actually build one of these things from the ground up? Well, the main tool for the job is the Alexa Skills Kit Command Line Interface, or Ask CLI for short. This is a program that lets a developer do everything, from creating the project, to managing it, to deploying it up to the cloud, all from that classic command line terminal on their own computer. And the amazing thing is, the workflow is surprisingly simple. A developer just installs the tool, links it to their Amazon account, and then they create a new skill project, usually from a template. They write their code, and then with just one command, poof, they deploy the whole thing to the cloud, and it's live and ready for Alexa to use. So if we were to peek inside one of these project folders, you'd see it's really neatly organized. You've got the skill package, which basically defines what the skill is and how people talk to it. Then there's the Lambda folder. That's where the actual code lives, the logic that runs when you give a command. And infrastructure? That's all the boring but important stuff for setting up the cloud resources. It's a really clean way to separate everything. Okay, so the smart office idea is powerful, right? But it's really just the foundation. This whole concept of adding modular skills to an AI has grown into something way, way bigger. So let's take a look at where this is all heading. And that brings us to agent skills. Think of these as the next generation of everything we've just talked about. The huge difference is instead of being locked into one system like Alexa, these are portable, open-standarded skills. That means they can teach specialized workflows to any AI agent that supports them, whether it's inside your code editor like GitHub Copilot, on your command line, you name it. This table here does a great job of showing the difference. You see, custom instructions are awesome for setting general rules, like always use this coding style. But agent skills are totally different. They're about teaching the AI complex, multi-step workflows. They're portable, so they work across different tools. They can even include actual scripts and examples. And maybe most importantly, they're only loaded into the AI's brain when they're actually needed, which is super efficient.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's that agent skills are making our AI assistants way, way smarter and more useful. We can specialize them for really specific domain-level tasks. We can build up a whole library of reusable skills for our team. We can even chain skills together to solve really complex problems. And it's all done in a super efficient way.
I mean, think about it. We've gone from simply asking our office to turn on the lights all the way to teaching our coding tools how to perform expert-level workflows. It all comes back to this one idea: making our tools smarter and more capable. So I'll leave you with this question. If your tools had skills, what would you teach them first?